Okay, so this first tutorial is about working with text. So the first thing we need to do is to set up a new Photoshop file. So I'm going to call this tutorial 1. Okay, and then I need to set it up as A4. Now it's already set up as this, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. So we go to preset, because yours might be on a different setting, and go to international paper and then select the size. So you can see it's already selected A4, and check your resolution is 300. Once that's all sorted, press OK. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I just want to introduce you to guides, because if you do front covers, it'd be good just to set the guides up. So you can see what I've done there. I've just dragged it down from the top where the measurements are. Okay, I'm also going to do the same side. So the main image is going to go here. That's where my masthead's going to go, and this is where my cover lines are going to go. Okay. So next thing I want to do is I want to bring in my image. We go to File and we go to Open. Now I've already got my image and I've saved it to the computer. Okay, and it's this one here. I know it's not the best. I know it looks quite American. Okay, but it's pictures of students. Okay, so I'm thinking now with regard to the college magazine that you produced. Okay, so it's opened up there, but you can see it's on a different tab. Okay, that's his old one, the one we just set up, and this is our new one. Okay, so we move tool selected, that's at the top left. If you hover over it, you can see there, and the shortcut for that is V. Okay, we click on the image, leaving the mouse button down. I'm going to drag it over to the new document we've set up, and then I'm going to drag it back down. Okay, now as I've done that, you perhaps would have noticed this layer that's been introduced here. So I've got my background layer, I've got my image layer. Okay, if I double click on this, you can rename it, and this is really good practice in Photoshop because we're dealing with lots of different layers. It's always good to know which one's which. Okay, as you can see, this is far too small. Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger now. A couple of ways you can do it. Make sure your layers, your image layers selected. Go to Edit and go to Free Transform, or using shortcuts, it's Command and T. Okay, now you can see I can resize this now. Top tip, when you're resizing, hold down the Shift button. Now the Shift button is just below the caps locks on the keyboard. And this is really important because when you do it, you hold it down, it resizes in proportion. Okay, so I'm going to put that there like that. You can see it's a little bit pixelated, that's okay. We just need to either check this tick, or press Enter on the keyboard. Okay, so that's his first thing. Next thing, we want to bring in our cover line, create this cover line. Okay, so we do this by clicking the text tool, which is T. Okay, and that's there, and this tool bar here. Click where you want to bring in your text, and you've got your cursor. So I've taken the cover line that we created in class, how to ace your A-levels. Okay, always check the spelling. Okay, that's really important. Okay, so you can see here we've got the character panel. That's really important when you're working in text. If you can't see any of the panels, so each tool has kind of got its own panel. You go to Window, you find it. Okay, so it's disappeared now. So let's bring it back in. Okay, and it is there. So let's highlight that. I'm just going to show you what you can do. So this one is the size. Okay, let's bring it up like that. There we go. Okay, now I want to bring in a second cover line. So we've got primary level, it's headline. We can bring in a subheading now, the secondary level. How we can do that is we can duplicate layers. So if you right click and click duplicate, Or another way you can do it, if you hold down the Alt button on the keyboard, make sure Move Tool selected, hold down the Alt button, click and drag. Watch the layers panel in the top right now. It's created another one. Okay, so that one that we've created is this one here. Okay, so I'm going to change this now to secondary one, which is revision tips. Inside. Okay, so notice here, just testing you, I am going to remove that apostrophe like so, okay, because it's not required. Okay, so we're going to highlight this and let's bring it down because we want the headline to be more prominent. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Let's play around with the colour. So I'll click the colour box there and let's go with the college colours. Let's have that one. Like that. Okay. Let's switch to his other layer to highlight it. Okay. Let's go more of a rich blue. Okay. Like so. I do want you to spend time thinking about colours. There's a number of online colour references that you can refer to get the right sort of mix of colour. So we can see here, this one's quite big, made that big, and then we reduce that so it's looking more like a cover line. But let's see what else we can do. So I'm going to highlight my text again. We can actually, by clicking this one, make the text taller. And we can stretch it out. Okay. Let's switch to his other layer, which is here. Okay. Let's highlight it. And what we can do is we can change the tracking by making the letters further apart just by playing around with that. Okay, so you can see there that it's kind of looking more like a cover line, but let's move it about a little bit. Okay, let's bring it up so. Okay, another good tip as well for aligning things, let's just get out of alignment. If we click both of these and hold down the command button as you do, okay, and go to your Windows panel, up here, okay, so we've got both of them selected, we can actually align them like so. You see how that's just snapped into place like that. Okay, so final thing I'm going to show you with regard to this is about organising your layers panel. So we're going to come down to the bottom. I'm going to hover over this folder here and say create a new group. I'm going to click on that and it's basically created a folder. Double click it so we know that this is our main cover line. Okay, so I'm going to click enter. I'm going to select that one. I'm going to hold down command and I'm going to drag them in that folder that I've created. You can see there, just think how much easier this will make your life when you're working in Photoshop if everything's nice and neat. Okay. What you can also do, if you collapse the layer, you can move it around like so, and it all stays nicely in proportion. Okay, but you can, if you wanted to, drop it down and you can still work in your individual layers like so. Okay, but it's always good practice to group them. Okay, so that's the first tutorial on working with text. Thank you very much.